In this video I'll show how to take a photograph that was taken at an angle and straighten it out and resize it to use as a digital rubbing. So this is in Corel Photo Paint X8, and the first thing that I'm going to do is create an object out of the background so that I can distort my image. So under background here there's a button that creates an object from the background, so I'll just click on that now that I've got my object. I'll go ahead and crop using the crop tool, and I'll just get in close enough to the face of the stone. That's all I want to keep, is just the face. It doesn't have to be exact, but pretty close. So I'll double click here to crop there. Once I have that cropped down, I'll go up to Image and say Paper Size, and this way I will type in the actual size of the stone that I want to get to. Right now it's only 3 inches by 1.5 inches, so I want it to be 24 inches wide by 12 inches tall. That's the size the stone should be. So I'll go ahead and click OK and hit F4 on my keyboard so that it zooms to everything. Using the Object Pick tool, I will grab one of the handles on a corner, doesn't matter which one, but I'll just click and drag, and while I do that I'll hold Shift on the keyboard so that it does it from the center instead of from an edge. And I'll get it close to the size of my paper, and then just hit apply here, and it will make it not so blurry anymore. That's just because it was coming from such a small image that it was resized that way. Okay, so if I click twice, it's going to give me this distortion handle, or you can see that it's grabbed it up here. So clicking on that handle, I can drag, and I'm just going to try to get the corner of the image up to the corner of my paper. Same thing here, I'm just going to drag. Now as we drag one edge, it's going to slightly change the other as well. So you have to pay a little bit of attention to how that ends up dragging out there. Just going to drag each of these corners. Now to make sure that it's lined up correctly, I'll usually grab on the ruler and drag down, and that will give me a guideline. And I'll go ahead and drag a couple down. So I'm going to do one along the top of the panel, one along the bottom of this text, and then one at the bottom of the panel. So if I zoom in, we'll be able to see that over here on the left it's pretty lined up with the bottom of the panel. Over on the right, it's a little bit, the panel's down a little bit too low. So if I get into that edge here, I'll zoom out just a little bit. I can distort that edge again, just dragging it down and lining up that panel with our guideline now a little bit better. So another thing is to drag from the side so that we can make sure that this panel lines up as well. So it looks like I need to bring this in just a little bit this way. This needs to come down just a tad bit. Alright, so I just hit apply. If you don't have the rulers, you'd want to choose show rulers here. You can show or hide them. You can also show or hide our guidelines here. But now that we've got it done, we can just go over here to save it, and then we can bring it in to Corel Draw to work on.